Good morning, everybody. Hopefully, y'all are having a great Wednesday. Hump day. Looks like pretty much everything on the watch list is red this morning. Interesting enough. Jesus. Sorry about that. So, my analysis so far this morning. Gonna head over to the Discord. So I post this in the morning market update channel over on the premium Discord, which I just linked as the pin comment here. And we just hit that 381 mark, so we might have to start trading a little bit earlier than I had expected. Let me pull up new window, Robinhood, and then we'll head on over to Discord for my analysis after I get out of this trade. So the put credit spreads that I had opened yesterday, not doing so hot right now. I just got the alert that SPY went below my price level of 380.75 was the one that I had drawn up, but it looks like it bounced right off of that. So we'll see if it comes back to test it or not. But 380.75 was the average, I think, between the 381.81 price level and the 379.65 price level. So something that I'm doing each morning before I start trading is actually setting up the price levels that I think SPY could be at sometime by the end of the day. So I included this. Good morning, MC. Damn, we got 28 viewers already in here and only 5 likes. But thank y'all for tuning in, even if you don't like the video. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. But the put credit spreads that I opened yesterday are up $180. Good morning, Eric. How are you today? $200 now. So my assumption is that SPY is probably going to be between that 380.75 mark that we just bounced off of and 384.38. So I'm actually looking to open a new Iron Condor based on this. So we'll go through my analysis right quickly, since now I don't have to worry about SPY coming below that 380.75 mark. It looks like we got a definitive bounce off of it. But my analysis so far this morning, if we head on over to the morning update channel, again on the premium Discord, linked in the pinned comment, the markets are off to another slow start. SPY was up 0.1% from yesterday's close, which is about the middle of the range that SPY ended up trading yesterday. So not really much change from yesterday. And we did have some news coming out. No major economic data besides housing, but housing typically has little to no impact on the stock market for right now. But in other news, China is actually letting COVID run pretty rampant, where their hospitals and their funeral homes are being overwhelmed, kind of like back in the United States in March of 2020. And they also opened their borders to international travel, which a little suspicious, but it's China. What more can you expect from them? But enough on the China COVID rant. Tesla has been falling like a freaking knife. It's down like 40% in the last month, being brutally freaking beaten. It's hard to be a shareholder right now. But I will say that the fundamentals of the company have not changed, even though, hi Market Wiz, welcome. The fundamentals haven't changed, although Elon and his antics have kind of stirred up a lot of controversy. The company is still doing very well. It's still very profitable, and that's not going to change just because Elon is being Elon. And when you invest in Tesla, you invest in Elon himself. That's the same with really any business, is you're investing in the leadership, because the leadership is what sets the precedent of the company. And Elon is a very high-functioning, crazy person. Like, I'll be brutally honest, he is insane. But that translates down to his workforce, to where, they are just as driven, working, probably 50, 60-hour weeks as engineers. They're just as driven as he is. And that's really what you want out of a management team. You want a manager that is going to push the boundaries and the capabilities of their employees. Can I see Thinkorswim outside of the United States? I think you can set up. Actually, I don't think you can set up the Thinkorswim account. They'll let you in, but you can never leave, like Hotel California. Anyway, so let me close out of this put credit spread. Seems to be doing well this morning. They only have about 20. So I opened these at 25 each. They're going for 10. I'd say there's a solid chance that we stay above 379, so I don't really feel too worried about it. I would say I would probably close these between 6 and 8 cents. I think there's probably a 6 to 8% chance that this trade goes against me. So I want to close them at 6 to 8, but right now they're trading for 10. So either we can close part of them now, which I think I'll do, reduce our risk. So I have I have 10 of these open, 20 of these open. I can't fucking read. Oh, man. I have 20 of these open for 25 credit each, and let's try to close them at 10. Definitely going to get ripped off because of the bid ask on Robinhood, but what's new? We actually got filled at night. How the hell did they fill us at 93? Okay, anyway. All right. What a beautiful morning to make money. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on. This live stream is probably going to get demonetized for all this cursing. Oh, well. I don't care. I just made money on the trade. That's all that matters to me. And passing on my knowledge to y'all. Anyway, let's head on over to the premium Discord. I'll post the closing options alert. Alright, so just took profits on 10 of them, I think it was. Yeah. Closing options alert. Premium 101 premium. Just took profits on 10 of 20 SPY 378, 379 put credit spreads at 0.093 each. It's kind of weird that it got filled at separate prices, but it is what it is. Those were expiring today, so let me edit the expiration date. Expiration 12/28. Whoop, I can't type. This is something that you'll learn from my premium Discord. I can't type worth a shit. But let's see, 378, 379 put credit spread. So I'm still holding 10 of these. So I'll take a screenshot of the rest of the ones that I own. Open these at 25 each. So far we took like $150 of profit. Still holding 10 at 25 average credit. I'm estimating 6 to 8% chance this trade goes against me, so planning to close the rest between 6 to 0.8. Also, if you want to type in the chat, MarketWiz, please make it a thread and not your own message. Can you show us Aries? Yes, we'll do. Aries. So that is not Aries.com. How come I'm up with a put even though the market is up today? So it was a put credit spread. So it's kind of like selling a put option. And whenever you sell a put option and the stock goes up, the put is going to have less value, so you can buy it for a cheaper price, right? The ultimate goal of any trade is to buy low, sell high. And with options, you can start by selling an option. Like you can sell a put option to buy 100 shares of a stock at a strike price using a cash secure put. Or you could use spread options. So you sell one put option and then you buy a lower strike price. So I sold the 379, bought the 378 for the spread. And that reduced the amount of cash that I needed. I don't need to buy the 100 shares of a stock, which will cost me $38,000. All I needed was $100 of collateral, or the difference between the strike prices. But let me log into my Aries account, and then I'll show y'all how you can use Aries to trade. Let me do the two-factor authentication right quick. I'm currently not allowed to trade with Aries, but I will show you how to, at least how you can open the spread. 471028. Which stock do I like to trade the most? SPY, every single day. And really, like, once you start trading a stock every single day, like, you're going to get somewhat good at trading that stock. Obviously, like, you're going to have your losses, and you have to take those losses and learn what you can improve for the future and try to avoid those mistakes. But I like to trade SPY pretty much every single day, whether it be a swing trade, day trade. I kind of mix in each type of trade, but let me show you how to open an Iron Condor using Aries on SPY. So my assumption is that, so this is a trade that I'm actually looking to make. I won't be able to make it on Aries. I'll have to move over to Robinhood, but I will teach how to open this trade with Aries. So right now, SPY is trading at $383, and I think there's a good chance that SPY is going to be below $385 and above $379 sometime by the end of today. Okay, so I'm going to start with the call side since we're closer to that, and I'm assuming that SPY is going to be below 385. So you would start this out just like selling a regular cover call, right? But we don't have 100 shares of the stock because we're broke out here. We're trading spreads for a reason, right? So I'm going to sell the $385 call, right? So that means that I think SPY is going to be below $385 by the end of today. Next step is going to be to buy a call option with a higher strike price. That way, that acts as our collateral instead of the 100 shares that we would need if we just sold the 385 call. So we're going to buy a 386 call after we sold the 385 call. And now we need to work on the put option. So my assumption is that we're probably going to stay above 379. So this will be like selling a put option, selling a cash secure put, where I'm going to sell the 379 strike price. And then I'm going to buy a lower strike price against it. So that way I don't need $37,000 or almost $38,000 of cash to buy the 100 shares. All I need is the difference between the strike prices, which is $1 multiplied by 100, or $100 of collateral that's needed for this trade overall. So when we press the order button, the bid price for these is 32. The ask price is 31, and you'll see a negative in the front. So with Aries, you have to specify whether you're getting a credit or paying a debit by putting a negative or a positive in the beginning, right? And since we're selling this option to open it, this is a short Iron Condor, we want to have a negative in front of it. And since we're selling it, we want to sell it at the bid price. So the highest price that a buyer is willing to pay for the same option spread, right? So we would type in the bid is 29 to 30. It fluctuates, obviously. You would review the order, submit. Now, for me, it says that I have a 90-day restriction and I can't open any new trades. I can only close new trades, but that's how you would set it up on using Aries. Now, let me pull up the HTTPS. TradeAries.com/everything options. If you sign up to Aries, deposit $500, they will give you $100 back, and you will get 1 month of free premium Discord from me. But I think the $100 that they pay out is paid out over a 5-month span, so you have to stay on the platform and you have to keep your account balance over $500 for 5 months in order to get the full benefit. Good morning, Roddick. How are you today? All right, so the $3.79, $3.78 put credit spreads are currently trading at 9 cents. I told y'all I wanted to close these between 6 and 8 cents, so it's getting close. How long did it take me to become profitable? So my first probably 2 years of trading, I think for the most part, I just broke even. I wasn't using a lot of capital to trade in the first 2 years, and this was during COVID times, right? So this was, I started trading options March of 2020, and I probably didn't really start making much profit at all until I started to actually put some money into it. The thing is, with options trading, you have to be willing to take on risk in order to make money from it. Like if you're just risking $1,000, then let's say you get a 5% return each month, which is about what I'm making right now, 4 to 5% a month. Let's say that I'm starting with $1,000 and I'm making roughly, we'll call it on the bottom end of the range, 4% a month. I'm only making $40. Obviously, that's not enough to live like a good lifestyle, right? Now I'm trading with $10,000. So I'm making about $400 a month, give or take, right? So even now, I don't make a ton of income just trading options. So obviously what I want to do now is continue to increase my risk tolerance and continue to increase the base number that I'm trading with if I can still maintain that 4% that I'm making a month. So let's say I work myself up to $25,000. Actually, my goal for the year for the end of 2023 is to be working with $30,000 to trade options with total. And in that case, I would be making around $1,200 a month. And obviously, as that scales, maybe to $100,000 over the next 3 years, then I'm going to be making $4,000 a month. So obviously, the more money that you make and the more consistent that you are with your trading and making profits, the more profit you're going to make in the end. It did take me like 2 years to become profitable with options trading. I have been trading since about 2016. So it's not a sprint. A lot of people see options trading as this thing that's a get rich quick kind of thing, right? Like you go over to Wall Street Bets, you see somebody risking their life savings, and then they become a millionaire. But the odds of that happening to you is about the odds of winning the lottery. So you can't be in this for the short term. You have to be in it for the long term. And options trading is a skill that you have to develop over a long period of time. Like I've been trading options every single day since March of 2020, right? So every single day I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the effort, and I'm starting to reap the rewards of it. Closed out of my put debit spread for February the 17th on SPY because it reached max profit, but when I closed, never got max profit. Is it because the spread wasn't close to expiration? Yes, generally, if you have a longer dated expiration date with a spread option, you will have wider bid-ask spreads because less people are trading that spread option. So you're not going to get the max profit from it. Usually, max profit happens within the last probably few days of an options expiration. So if you had one that's expiring on Friday, you'd be closer to max profit than an option that has 2 weeks to expiration and obviously 2 months to expiration. If I want a stock to go lower price, because I know it's going down, do I buy a put or a call? So you would buy a put option since you're assuming that it's going to go down, but there's a caveat to it. So the caveat is that implied volatility has a role in your trading. So you have to learn how to use implied volatility to your advantage instead of to your detriment. So if you think that a stock is going to go down based on their earnings report, and you're buying a put option ahead of their earnings report, everybody else is having the same idea as you. The thing is, like, you don't have a novel idea. Sorry to break it to you. But you don't have a novel idea. Everybody else is buying puts or buying calls, assuming that the stock is going to go up or stock is going to go down. So whenever there's more demand because more people are buying these options, the price of the options is going to reflect that higher demand. Prices work on supply and demand. This goes for every facet of the economy, not just options, not just, I don't know. It goes for everything, right? So whenever there's more demand for an option, the price of it goes up because the implied volatility goes up. People want to make money whenever they buy a call or whenever they buy a put. So that means that they expect the stock to make a big move in order to make them money. So the higher the demand for an option, the higher the implied volatility and the higher price that you're going to pay. But if the stock doesn't move a lot after the earnings report, then you're not going to make any profit on it because you overpaid for that option. And this is what's known as IV crush or implied volatility crush. So something you have to keep in mind, an important study that I use whenever I'm trading around an earnings report is what's known as IVP or implied volatility solo. IVP, implied volatility percentile. Sorry, my computer is being a little bit slow, but implied volatility percentile gives you a distribution of where implied volatility has been over the given time frame. Looks like I have the spinning ball of death right now. So can't really pull this up, unfortunately. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, let's work on closing maybe this SPY put credit spread that I have. Currently, SPY is trading at $382.10, so I still have a little bit of ways to go until it reaches 380.75. I'm going to set up an alert. Since my Thinkorswim just froze on me, I'm going to have to restart it, but I'm going to set an alert using Robinhood on my phone. Let's see. For if SPY goes below 381.75 or 380.75 actually. Price moves below 380.75. That way I know when to get out of this trade, and obviously my Thinkorswim not working right now. So let me restart my Thinkorswim app. Big money messing with Tesla. I think it's more than big money. I think it's a combination of obviously Elon and his antics. I think that there's probably a lot of margin calls going on because a lot of people love to take out margin in order to grow their portfolio that much faster, borrowing other people's money in order to make more. So I think there's a lot of people that are getting margin called since the stock is going down like a bat out of hell. And then, I mean, you just have the fear of the stock just continuing to plummet, right? You have so many different new price targets of like $60, $100, $30. Like, there's 1,000,001 lower price targets now that the stock has fallen 40% this month. Meanwhile, I'm just going to keep level-headed, going to keep buying the business, $100 a week, not spending a lot of my cash on it. Like, I have $40,000 of cash, so the $100 that I'm spending a week is like nothing. Let me open Thinkorswim back up. TD Ameritrade. Password. There we go. Got 58 viewers in here. Good morning, everybody. We're having a great morning in the profits today. Have a $113 put for Tesla, I'm assuming, and it was down to 106 yesterday. Now it's going back up. Yeah. I mean, people that were buying puts at the last minute are the ones that get screwed over. And that goes for literally anything. Like the people that were buying Tesla shares whenever it was at $1,200, the last people to buy are the ones that get screwed over. the most at least. And then, people like me who started buying in June, July of 2020 got it for the same price that it's trading at right now, roughly. So obviously we're hurting a lot less than the person that bought it at $1,200. Is QQQ a good one to do spread options on? Yes. I do trade QQQ sometimes. Do I still have all of my shares of Tesla that I did before? No, absolutely not. I started selling Tesla back in June along with pretty much all of my stocks that I had owned. So I was selling whenever it was trading between $250 into the end of August, I think. So between $220 at the lows and probably around $290, almost $300 at the highs. So I was selling in that range back in June through August because I figured that the Fed would need to continue to raise interest rates, which is going to hurt high growth companies. And if there's any company that's focused on high growth, it is Tesla. Tesla wants to grow their business 50% a year, and that discounts their price because it takes a lot of capital in order to grow at that pace. And the company has $20 trillion in cash, which is enough for probably 3 or 4 new gigafactories, but they're probably going to need it along the lines of like 10 to 12 gigafactories in order to reach the scale of selling $10 trillion or 10 million cars a year, right? That is their goal for 2030. In order to reach that goal, each factory is making around roughly $750,000 a year. So if we do the math on that and assume that they don't improve their manufacturing process, which they probably will, it's a very innovative company. They're very good at engineering. But if we assume the same, and they want 10 million a year from, let's see, 10 0 0 0 0 0 0, and each factory is making 750,000 on average. They're going to need about 13 factories. So far they have 4, so that means that they need 8 more factories, and each factory is costing them around $4.5 million. Or sorry, $4 to $5 million. So that means that they're going to need to invest at least, this is excluding all of their other expenses, by the way, they're going to need to invest at least $36 million in the new gigafactories. Right now they have $20 trillion or $20 billion. Keep mixing up trillion, million, and billion, but they have $20 billion in cash, and they're going to need $36 billion in cash. Right? So they need almost twice as much cash as they currently have in order to reach their full potential in 2030. Am I still holding UVXY calls? Yes, I am still holding my UVXY calls that I opened yesterday. Still expecting a huge pop for UVXY. So I have the 750 calls that expire 12/30, but that I bought by accident. And then I have the, where the hell are they? Wait a minute. Do I still have this option open? I thought I had... come on now. This is dumb. There's it. There's the one that I have. So these are down 25% today. So $267 that I've lost so far. I spent roughly $1,000 buying these options. And my plan is to continue to hold this into the VIX cycle. So the VIX cycle lasts 2 to 3 months. Right now, the VIX is trading at 21.31, and I think that it's going to go above 25.50. Okay, so over the next probably 3 to 4 weeks, VIX should go above 25.50 based on the previous trend. Now, trends don't always last. This trend could just disintegrate, and VIX could go a lot lower. VIX could go below 20 and sustain that for a long time. So I am taking on a risk of putting down $1,000 for this, but just given what's happened over the last year, I don't think that things are improving right now. I think that things are probably only getting worse as we get closer to the full effect that should be felt from the higher interest rates in March of 2023 is when we'll start to really feel the pain from it. So I could extend the expiration date, but based on the 2 to 3 month cycle, I think that VIX is probably going to go above 25.50 over the next 3 to 4 weeks. Just based on past performance. Obviously, past performance isn't an indicator of future performance, but it can be a good gauge. That's a lot of zeros. Yeah, millions, trillions, billions. It's all a bunch of zeros. Anyway, so the Iron Condor that I had opened, Jesus Christ, I need to turn down the music. I feel like I'm yelling into the microphone right now. So let me turn this down. There we go. Now I can actually hear myself. That was getting a bit much for me. But the Iron Condors that I had opened, I opened them for $29 each. The bid price is 8 cents. Are you kidding me? 9 cents now. It's trading in the middle between my strike prices, $3.76 and $3.87. I don't want to overpay for these options, but I think I'm going to have to in order to get out. Because I want to open a new Iron Condor that I think will be a little bit better. So just close the Iron Condor that I had opened. I think I opened this Friday. So that trade was a very great success. Let's see. Greg's trades. All right. All right. Closing options alert. Premium 101. Premium. Oh. Just took profits on the last 10 SPY Iron Condors. So these expired today, 10/28 at 8 each, and my strike prices were $3.75, $3.76 to $3.87 and $3.88. Okay, so I originally opened those at 29 cents a piece, if I remember right. Yeah, I opened 30 at 29. Let's see if I can find it here. SPY Iron Condor. Nope, that's the wrong one. 375, 376. So I'll type in the strike prices instead. 388 and 3. What the hell? 387. Okay, 387, 388. All right, new options alert. So I opened those on last Friday at 29 each. Opened 30 at 29. The last 20 I closed 20 at 14, and these 10 at 8. So let's do 29 times 30 minus 20 times 14 minus 10 times 8. $510 of profit for this trade. Nice little bag that I got off of that. And I want to open a new Iron Condor. I'm going to set up my strike prices that I like for this trade. But looking at the 2-day chart, so this is going to be a day trade. This one's going to expire today. And like I said this morning, I think we're going to trade between 379. I think that's almost a given at this point. And the credit for that's probably not going to be great. But we're going to trade between 379 most likely and 385. So I'm going to set up an alert for if we go below this price level right here at 380.75. And then I have one for the upside, assuming that we're going to stay below 384.38. So I'll get an alert when either of these go off. But my assumption, again, is that we're going to stay above 379 and below 385. So I'm going to open an iron condor with those strike prices. So 385. Okay. The credit for these isn't the best from what I'm seeing so far. Yeah, it's kind of crappy. So if you want to increase the credit that you're getting from an iron condor, you either have to go longer in your expiration date or you have to go tighter in the range. So I could possibly say it's going to stay above 380 and do use that. That way I'll get more credit from the puts. But I still think that we're going to be below 385. And I think there's more potential upside today. Jesus. I think there's more potential upside today than downside. Just given the news that's hitting the market with China reopening and the seasonality of this week. Usually this is a very good week for the stock market. So I'm going to open that. I'd say I want to make probably $600 from this trade. So let's see. I'm going to open it based on that. I'm very confident in the trade working out. Let's see. But if we go below 380.75, then I want to close. If we go above 384.38, then I want to close. So I do want to manage the risk with those strike prices. So what would these be trading at if SPY was trading at those price levels? If it was trading at 384, and I'm assuming it's going to be below 385, they should be trading for roughly 30 cents each. So it would be a $5 loss for each one. And then if it was trading at 380.75, and I'm assuming it's going to be above 380, they would be going for roughly 35 cents each. Or no. Yeah, roughly 35 cents each. So that would be about a $10 loss that I'd be taking for the downside if this is wrong. And obviously, the more credit I can get for this trade, the less risk I'm taking on. So hopefully we can get it at a good credit. But with Robinhood, probably not. All right. So $10 that I could lose for each one if we go down. So I think I'm okay with losing about $300 for this trade. And right now I'm getting $750 of credit, so worth my while. You only have 10 contracts. Oh, since I already have some strike prices chosen, I can't open this. So let me close out of my put credit spreads, and then I'll be able to open this same trade. SPY, put credit spreads, 379, 378 strike prices. I'll have to close them at the bid price. I have 10 of them. Or sorry, I'll have to close them at the ask price since I'm buying them back. So, got a profit from that trade too. Nice day so far. Let's see. Closing options alert. Premium 101. Freemium. Just took profits on the 378, 379 SPY put credit spread that expires today, 12/28 at 12 each. $378, $379 is what I'll type in. So I opened how many? 20 at 25. opened 20 at 25, closed 10 at 0.093, closed these 10 at 0.12. So 20 times 25 minus 10 times 0.093 minus 10 times 0.12. Well, I guess I shouldn't include the decimal. $287 profit. $287 profit. Alright, sweet. So now I want to open the Iron Condor, assuming SPY is going to be... I guess we can change the strike price to $379 now that it's headed down a bit. And we'll get a decent credit out of it. Right now, the credit for the 380, 379 strike prices is actually not that great. It's actually worse than it was before, surprising enough. Oh, that sucks. Alright. I think I'm going to take it anyway. Probably going to catch a bounce on this 381.39 level, but obviously not 100% sure for that. I would take about a $400 loss if we went down to 380.75, but I think that's a risk I'm willing to take. Right now, the total credit is $1,000 for this. Keeps moving around. Really annoying, but yeah. Alright. Alright, so just open that Iron Condor for SPY, assuming that it's going to stay above 380 and below 385. So let me post that in the trade alerts. New options alert. P1F for premium. Just opened a new SPY Iron Condor that expires today. So it's a day trade 12/28 expiration. And I got 25 credit each. Okay. I gotta get the strike prices. So 379. Okay. 385. All right, sweet. So I can make up to $1,000 for that trade. The downside risk is about 400, so about a 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio for that trade, which I like. And I'll say see morning analysis. Morning update for my analysis. Assuming SPY will trade 380 to 385 today. No major news or data. And planning to close if SPY goes below 380.75 or above 384.38. Planning to close for a loss. All right. And then for the upside potential for this trade, I would say there's probably like a 90% chance that this trade works out. So I want to close it for 10 cents each. I got 25 cents each. So I opened 40. That would be 40 times $15 of profit per trade. That would be about $600 that I would make in profit from that. Why not use a 1 data expiration and close today? I prefer 0 DDE. just because you realize the profits a lot sooner, and you don't have to deal with the overnight swings that come along with trading one DTE. But anyway, it's 10:15, so we still got about 15 minutes left here. I don't think that'll open any new trades though, so I think what we'll do is I'll just open the floor for questions from y'all for the next 15 minutes. So let me move the chat over here. Obviously, I'll keep monitoring my trades over on my phone, which will be on the left. You'll see me watching over here. But let me know what questions y'all have today, and hopefully I can answer them for you. About 100 shares of wood. Oh man, Tuttle, you're just feeding the monster. Ugh, I hate Robinhood so much, but damn, their user interface is ungodly. One day, I hope to make a brokerage that's as sexy as Robinhood, but that has decent ethics. Would be nice. Damn, that UVixie call that I opened is getting smashed. That sucks. That sucks big time. Alright, so I'll just type that in the chat so you'll know this is time for question and answer. We got about 10 minutes left until 10:30, but I'll be here answering questions for the next 10 minutes. Anything that you have, whether it be about stocks, it can be about options, if you want technical analysis, whatever. What trading platforms do I use for chart analysis? So the one that you always see me using in the live streams is Thinkorswim. So the reason why I prefer Thinkorswim is because they're super customizable. So you can add any sort of study that you want. You can even create your own studies. So a custom study that I use is implied volatility percentile because Thinkorswim doesn't have it themselves. But there's other unique studies that I love from Thinkorswim. The main studies that I use, though, are implied volatility percentile if I'm looking at an earnings report. Relative strength index and MACD are good. So RSI is the relative strength of a given stock. And a lot of people like to say that a stock is overbought or oversold and take the opposite trade to it. But the way that I see RSI is if a stock is above 50 RSI, then it's bullish between 50 and 70 RSI. And if the stock is below 50 RSI and between 50 and 30, then that's bearish, right? So you'll see yesterday, pretty much all day, Tesla was below 50 RSI. So it continued to go down all day, right? And then MACD is a similar indicator, but it uses crossovers. So it'll give you quote-unquote buy and sell signals. You don't want to actually rely on them because you can get fake out, similar to the one that happened right here. Like if you thought that Tesla would continue to go down right here, the next 15 minutes, it ended up going up and then just traded flat until the end of the day then it started to sell off, right? So you can't really rely on it like solely. You kind of have to have like an idea. Like it can give you trade ideas, but they're not concrete. Where can I get the study for Ivy percentile? Head on over to the premium Discord and I will, or not the premium Discord. You can join the free Discord actually. Let me link that and I will send it in the main chat. So let me pull up IVP solo. I'm going to grab the, where the heck is it? I got to go to the studies. Is SPY my favorite to trade? Absolutely. Load study set. Now I need to edit studies. Go to the settings on IVP. Where the hell is it? I'm trying to find the script for it. It's a custom script that you have to... There we go. All right. Actually, I think I can just share the link for it right here. So go to that link. I think the next step is to go to the settings tab. No, the setup tab. Open shared item, type in the URL, preview, and then import. All right, so now you should be able to use it yourself. 10 out of 10 on my last SPY credit spreads. Do you think my luck will run out soon? Yeah, I think that there are just like in life, like you have good periods of life, you have bad periods of life. It does come in cycles. But in order to make the bad times better, especially with trading, learn from your mistakes. How will the markets end this year? I think it's going to be positive for this week, if I had to guess. I would guess that SPY would probably be closer to the top of the risk range than it is right now at $390. The bottom of the risk range is $378. So I think we'll be closer to $390 than we will be to $378 by the end of this week and the end of this year. If I had to guess, I would say probably between 384.38 and 387.50. So somewhere in that range is where I think we're going to end the year. Now, next year is a whole different story. Each year in the 2020s has gotten crazier and crazier, so be prepared for 2023. I don't like how the after-hour markets mess with prices. Yeah, so the thing about after-hours is that you have a lot lower trading volume because there's a concentration of buyers from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. because that's the open market, right? And then after hours, that volume drops. So whenever the volume drops, there's less buyers, less sellers overall, which means that the bid-ask spreads, even for a given stock, are going to be a lot wider. So that's why you'll see crazy fluctuations in the after hours versus like during the day, it's more like smoothed out, I guess. Would you recommend taking a class? My 19-year-old son wants to get into stock trading. I was self-taught. I did not take any classes. I didn't read any books on it. I would say that the best thing that you can do is just practicing and doing it every single day. I'd say that practice and a focus on improving is the best thing that you can do for your trading. Like, you have to be intentional about it. Like, for example, this can be applied to anything in life, too. It doesn't just have to be trading. Like, if you practice something every single day, you're going to get good at it. For me, I started playing basketball every day starting about 6 weeks ago. And now I'm pretty freaking good at basketball. Now, obviously, like, I'm not LeBron James. I'm 5'6", super short. But, like, I could probably go up against any average person in basketball and whoop their butt. I'll have to take some videos of me on the court, expose myself. But, yeah, if you practice something every single day, you're going to get better at it. Yeah, paper trading can be useful if you don't want to put on any risk and like you want to trade. But the problem is whenever you're paper trading, you're not going to get the same emotional aspect of trading. Whenever you lose money or whenever you make a lot of money, you're not going to get the same feeling as you would with actual money. Grayson Allen. Not sure who that is. Do you think a kid below 18 could do well in investing? I think anybody could if they put enough time and practice into it. How does a year usually start, up or down? Typically, I think the markets go up in the first year. Obviously, 2021 was a different scenario because we were going from super positive monetary policy to starting to be super negative monetary policy. But let's see. So if we look at, say, the monthly chart over the max amount of time, let me change this to monthly. I want to set this as default so I don't have to keep changing it to a quarter because I never use quarterly. I'll do that after the live stream, but let me get rid of RSI and MACD. Actually, we can use... No, I don't need RSI and MACD. Let me get rid of my studies. Remove all studies. So if we look at January of 2020, SPY went down a crap ton from 323. Actually, not a crap ton, but 323 to 321. That was like the start of COVID. So kind of a fluke. This year was very bad because of the monetary tightening. Went from 476 all the way down to 450. But let's look at 2018. You want to look at similar times too. Like from 2018 to 2019, we had just started to lower interest rates because of a mini recession that we were experiencing. So SPY ended up going. So you have to take the context of each given year too. Like the context of this year is that the Fed is tightening like hell. So you would want to use a similar year. So you could use this January as a good proxy, where SPY fell 476 to 450. 2017 is when I think they started to tighten last. And SPY went down in January of 2018. Actually, it went up in January 2018 to 267 to 277. So a 10-point gain for a $270 stock. So about 2-3% from that. But you want to take the context. You can't just go year by year and take the average because averages don't always work out. You want to take the average of like similar years, basically. But yeah. Just created a Webull account. Robinhood put me on restriction, saying that I had too many day trades because I get a spreaded, and my account doesn't allow that. Yeah, if you don't have level 3, you can't trade ghetto spreads without getting the PDT rule. But we just went below 380.75, so I might have to close out of that put. Let me see. Robinhood. Yeah, it's down about $300, so that's kind of what I expected. I'll close out of the put side instead of closing it all together because I do think that I got a decent credit from the calls. So let me pull that up. Let me scroll this over. Get rid of this. All right, so the puts, I ended up buying I sold the 380 to start with. I bought the 379, so we're going to reverse the order These are going for 35 a piece at the moment. And it looks like we're pretty solidly below 380.75 for right now. And it looks like that was a pretty big candle that sent us down. So momentum might carry us to the downside. Probably I'm going to have to close these at 34 a piece. I opened 40. So I'll keep the calls open, close the puts. Looks like we got filled on those. Just close the put side. And it's probably going to go up immediately after I close that. Just to screw with my head, but... Closing options alert. Premium 101. Premium. Just cut losses on the put side of the SPY Iron Condor expiring today 12/28 at 34 each, I think. Let's see. 1360 over 40, 34 each, yeah. All right. And I'll type in the strike prices. They were 380, 379, 380 to 385, 386. And I originally opened these at 25 each. So I guess I should just close the call side too while I'm at it. I don't think that it was necessary to close both. But originally opened at 25 each. So 34 minus 25, $9 times 40, $360 loss that I took for this. And now SPY is going back above that 380.75 level. So SPY ended up faking me out. Gonna leave the trade alone though. Say there's still a good chance that we're gonna be below 385. So I might add to that side of the position. They're only going for 4 cents each. So I guess I'll just hold it. I don't think that it's really worth opening or closing at the moment. But if we start to go back up, maybe if we head above 382.9, then I'll close the rest of these. Let me create alert with this drawing at or above. All right. And that is the end for today. So I will catch y'all same time tomorrow morning at 9:30. Closing out of a leg. Yeah, so I closed out of the put side, the put leg of my Iron Condor. How many days was I in the red for 2022? Has to be a world record. Yeah, let's see. When you applied for TradeStation, how long did it take to get approved? It took a while, actually. I think it was probably 5 business days, if I remember right. So it takes a while. But I really do love Aries. Their platform's very clean. The bid-ask spreads are a lot better than Robinhood. So, yeah. Well, that's the end for today, and I will catch y'all tomorrow at 9:30. See you, everybody.